To other news we are tracking closely, there are new developments in the U.S. plan for Venezuela's oil. President Donald Trump signing an executive order blocking courts and creditors from seizing revenue tied to the sale of oil from the South American country. Now, the order states that all revenue held in foreign government deposit funds should be used in Venezuela for the purpose of creating, quote, peace and stability. The Trump administration has previously said all sales and transport of Venezuelan oil will be done through U.S. control. Let's now invite Matt McClain, petroleum analyst at Gasberry. Matt, good evening and thanks for your time. Let's get your take on the latest executive order that President Trump has signed on Venezuelan oil. How do you think that's really going to help?
Well, the bottom line is, how do the crude oil companies think that's going to help? And that's where it really all boils down to at this particular point. Will the crude oil companies say, yes, we really do want to get back into Venezuela and invest? Some companies would be for the third time, where the previous two times Venezuela seized the infrastructure that they had built out, not once but twice. You heard actually the North American CEO of ExxonMobil alluding to that at a White House press conference yesterday. And so this is an area of concern, obviously, for crude oil companies especially. Do they want to go and invest tens of billions of U.S. dollars into the Venezuelan infrastructure whenever they are all indicating they're really not entirely sure that it's very stable to do so?
And they have made their voice very clear in this matter, saying that, of course, it's uninvestable. Basically investing in Venezuela. But we know President Trump as well, he's saying that he will push for these companies to go ahead. So let's just say, Matt, if these companies were to go ahead, invest in Venezuela and start taking over the entire oil process, drilling of oil, talk to us about the impact. How soon do you think we will be able to see any impact if that really happens?
So at this particular point, even an assessment has not been done as to how bad the infrastructure is. I'm going to refer right back to what the ExxonMobil CEO said just yesterday at the White House, indicating that just within weeks or a few months, if they chose to do so, as of right this second, they could start having assessment teams. But you also have to realize Venezuela, real estate, acreage-wise, the size of the country is not a very small country. It will take a lot of time just to simply do an assessment. So to bottom line the answer for you, nothing in 2026, possibly in the first half of 2027, but more than likely in the last half of 2027 at the very earliest, and that's only if they start right now.
Oil, as we know, is also called as liquid gold there, Matt. But let's talk about how everybody's behind Venezuela. And I'm talking about the other two adversaries being China and Russia. And President Trump saying that, look, if they want to buy oil, yeah, they can buy oil, but this time they'll have to buy it through the United States because they are in control of oil in Venezuela. Let me ask you about, if you're looking at all of this play out, what is really going to be the impact on oil industry, looking at players like China and Russia as well, who were dependent for crude on Venezuela?
Well, in years past, things have always been a stabilizer when it comes to the United States. Where we stand exactly today, for the moment, that seems to be the case as well. So what you're basically looking at is the United States, the Trump administration, indicating they don't care essentially who they are selling the oil to. China, Russia, it doesn't matter to them. Just basically purchase it through the United States, if you will, in order to be able to get that oil. They're not really seemingly caring as to who they're going to be selling that oil to. Keeping in mind, there was basically a blockade, if you will, on selling the oil as more of a sanction against Venezuela at this point from its, I guess, previous president at this point. He's sitting in a jail cell in New York City. So the key of the matter is the United States, according to the Trump administration, is open for business when it comes to Venezuela and selling its oil, no matter who it is.
Matt McClain, petroleum analyst at Gasberry. Thank you for this, Matt. Appreciate it.